Okay, this is a meaty video of, unbelievably, the best of both types of non-duality. Whoa! They aren't compatible in any way, shape or form, and if you only want the non-compromising non-duality, skip ahead. There really is nothing for you. Not that there ever is anyhow, but there's nothing for you in this next bit. Maybe it's interesting and entertaining. I find the difference mammothly interesting. What was Ramana's promise? I loved his promise. Your true nature is bliss, love and consciousness. Who wouldn't want that? And it makes sense, right? Blow away the cobwebs, the shadow self, the content of consciousness, and here is your true self, beingness self. And go deep enough and the whole universe falls away, leaving just consciousness itself. The universe appears in and as consciousness. You can see how the argument that you only know the universe because of the presence of consciousness gives enormous weight to the idea that consciousness must be the only real thing. And having blown away all the contents within consciousness, this is a massive wow, a blissful wow. A wow that makes you want to point out this truth to others who seem to be suffering. And there are so many, many ways to be helpful. Because what is the content of consciousness? Thin, temporary trances that seem to obscure your true self. And what are these trances? Let's have a look at some. There's the age regression trance. This is when our attention is on all that old stuff that seems to appear as a way to haunt us. Or it's seen as a lesson or an obstacle that's inviting you to clean it up. And if you clean it up, you'll be free. The age regression trance appears as awful past traumas, shameful things, embarrassing things, and always the worst, right? The trance seems to keep us small and limited and powerless, but it seems honest and real of what really happened, a truth that happened, a truth that we need to overcome or we'll drown in the past. We welcome any help we can get, right? And so it seems helpful to ask someone, well, what pictures they see when there's age regression trances occurring. What things are they hearing? Help them change the visual and the audio and the kinesthetic scenario through any means, a reframe, a new learned response to a trigger, even manually changing the pictures and sounds. It's much harder to be affected by a memory.
If we change the pitch of someone's voice or dim the lights
on the memory or make it one colour or reframe the event as something that made us stronger or wiser in the long run. Another trance is the future trance. Constantly worrying or being anxious about the future could be one way it appears, or picturing doom and failure, or trying to avoid a predicted future. And again, you can analyse how it manifests in consciousness and make changes to it, so you can picture a better future, a happier one, or as some have tried, remaining in the present as a way to stop the past and the future trances. Another trance is the identity trance. Again, we picture or feel and hear an identity, which we usually don't like. We want an enlightened identity, someone who's broken through all these illusions and lived to tell the tale and help others. And what are the illusions? Well, in this non-duality, which includes consciousness, it's trances like these and others that are seemingly obscuring the truth. And yet with vigilance and breakthroughs and healings and becoming a master at busting every illusion that life throws up, it's seen that this is your true self, and you're now not only awake and free, but practically a mind ninja, a consciousness ninja. It feels alive, silent, still, peaceful, and hugely blissful. It seems that Ramana's promise is true, that empty fullness of consciousness. Everything is consciousness, everything is divine. It's the most divinely empty identity. Others are seen in the light of being awake or asleep to this truth, with just a bit of guidance, work on the self, going deep within, a willingness to be open to non-duality, eventually leading to having the same consciousness as a guru, as Ramana, Everyone can wake to this truth about themselves. And since you feel like love itself, of course you want everyone to experience this. All of that is the most fabulous part of this type of non-duality. It makes sense, it's practical, it seems loving, it seems like the purpose in life. Oddly, the best part of the other non-duality is the exact opposite of this. No consciousness has been present at any time. No other consciousness. No consciousness is the absolute. A chimpanzee becomes self-aware when it's in front of a mirror and loses self-awareness when the mirror is taken away. The human brain has what is called a self-reflector that can produce a representation of the self in real time. Basically, it has an internal mirror. So unlike the chimp who can walk away from a mirror and happily lose self-awareness, the human has an ongoing internal mirror device that's creating a split view. The split view seems real because the mirror can reflect upon the self, reflecting upon itself, and languages that as, well, wow, I'm aware of being conscious. But it's only mirror. Only the mirror that feels like consciousness is passively separating out me and my consciousness and everything else, when there is only appearance and no consciousness at all. This self-reflecting mirror is the only place where duality exists, which is a bit of a bummer for humans. The mirror creates a split perception. It sees itself seeing other. Voila, we have a false split. A supposed but not real subject in a world of objects. It's a marvellous duality gadget, but it's just a gadget. Via the split mirror, reality seems to be a real solid separate me, seeing a real solid reality out there. But it's just a split perception. What does that leave? No one, and only this appearance. Appearance with no you, and no other, and no one with actual awareness. It's funny, isn't it, how it seems like the fake reflection, which isn't there, tries to see that it itself isn't there, which only makes it seem like, well, there must be someone there because looking is happening. All that's happening is the action of looking. No looker and nothing to find. It's appearance doing the looking, although it's not really doing that intentionally, but it's what seems to happen in the appearance, because this gadget includes not just a mirror, but movement. The self has been likened to a hurricane. A hurricane is the same air that was still, but add the dynamic action from circumstances, and you have a hurricane. A hurricane isn't a thing, but a dynamic action. The self seems like it is there because of dynamic action, but like the hurricane, basically, we are nothing but wind. A split view mirror and wind in the appearance creates the illusion of a you. Now, you might think I'm talking to you, and that a you there needs to do something about this. What you? The non-duality with consciousness is seeing the duality gadget as the source of oneness. And that's understandable because it feels so good. It wouldn't matter how still or quiet or transparent or empty you tried to make the supposed self in the mirror. It still seemingly appears as an ongoing passive perceiver, all because of the split view. There never is a someone sitting in stillness in a bubble of consciousness who can discover they are consciousness, and equally, even though it's the fashion to have a dropped me.
And here comes Errol. Errol's me dropped last autumn, and he says life is now amazing with a dropped me, but he finds driving is now difficult. And here comes Ethel. Ethel's me dropped while in the shower. She says she loves her disciples very much. They both would like to share their message tonight, that no one will get this. But for a fee you can attend their retreat and hear that message in person. Thank you so much, Errol and Ethel.
There is no one with a dropped me or a someone without a dropped me. No one is in either camp of non-duality, because there is no one. While the split perception that gives rise to duality is a strictly human dilemma, there is no human. The human is only an artificial division created by the split perception. The split perception is in the appearance and not in the human at all. There are no seekers and no finders anywhere. There is just appearance, no reality to find. No one can get this wrong, in that there are no humans in the appearance. The appearance is a blindly annoying shit for even having this split view, which creates a seemingly separate human which goes on a seemingly separate search for reality. Non-duality is the best medicine for an illness that no one has. And because no one has the illness in the first place, it's just really fucking annoying trying to swallow the medicine. The whole thing is hilarious.